Hey guys, thank you so much for hopping onto this video to check out my quickie review of Astral Chain. So any review of a game will be biased, and I quickly want to share my biases to help you understand why I reviewed Astral Chain this way. So I'm a huge fan of storytelling, humongo. And yes, I know, there are so many different aspects to a game, like the graphics, the music, the cinematics, the controls, the gameplay, characters. There's a lot that goes into a game, but preferably for me, I need a compelling story. So before I go into the reasons why I did and didn't like the game, let's just quickly talk about what Astral Chain is. So your character and their sibling are new recruits added to a special police force. Your mission is to help fight chimeras, an alien species originating from the astral plane, using your mecha robot pets called legions. Throughout the game, you complete missions and delve deeper into the mysteries of the task force you work for and for the astral plane. Throughout it, you can make special bonds with your legions, your robo pets, so to speak, and they fight along with you. Okay, topic number 1, music. All throughout the game, the music is amazing. It's beautiful. All of the compositions are so perfectly strung together so that when you're fighting, you really feel the intensity of the fights. I mean, besides the combat, the music adds so much to it. Those small, somber moments, oh, the music just hits you hard. There's no better way to describe it, but the music is absolutely amazing in Astral Chain, and there are definitely no complaints from me in that department. Next up is combat. Now, I know a lot of you diehard Astral fans out there are going to crucify me when you watch this because you're going to be like, but Laura, you forgot this thing, and that thing, and this thing, and that thing. Let me just say that the combat is also quite amazing. The combat is fluid, fun, and not complicated to learn at all. Each legion has its own set of abilities that you can and will need to utilize during specific missions. If you are a combat junkie, this may easily be your game of the year. The combat is not only diverse with all of the different combos you can do, but the mobility, the moves themselves, the connections that you have with your legion in order to perform certain attacks are all very interesting and super unique. Each legion you have to relearn how to fight using them. And I know that sounds a little frustrating, but it's actually very cool because it adds so much to the diversity of the game. There is without a doubt in my mind that if you love combat, that you're gonna love fighting in this game. There is no shortage of enjoyment when it comes to fighting. So, what about characters? The characters themselves are also very well done. You see, the characters have great personalities. You have people who are snarky, people who are headstrong, like your sibling, and also people who develop throughout the game. Character development is super important. With that being said, there were plenty of characters that I was able to fall in love with and see how they grew throughout the game. But this is where my issue stems from. You have these incredible, likable characters, you have great combat, you have decent gameplay, but where the game falls short for me has to do with the character that you play as well as the story. Okay, so let's start with your character. Since the game allows you to choose between being either male or female and designing your character, they couldn't really put in dialogue for your character. I imagine that would be difficult and kind of hard to do, but that's something that frustrated me, is because it's very hard for you to connect to the character you're playing as. I modeled mine after 2B because I'm a huge fan of Nier Automata, and I'm like, oh, this is kind of cool. But I didn't like that my character didn't have a voice. I didn't know who she was. I had a closer attachment to my legions than I did to my character. I would have loved to have seen the banter between her and her sibling Akira. I would have loved to see more facial expressions, more of a reaction. Since my character was so dead personality wise, it was hard for me to really like and care about the person I was playing as. So with that being said, without a personal connection to the character that I'm playing as, it's very hard for me to be super invested in the game. The next thing that bothered me was story. It was super hard for me to be invested in the story just because I feel as if there wasn't much that was explained. As you're playing it, there's a lot of room for confusion as far as in which direction the story is going into. I had a vague understanding of why the antagonist was doing what they were doing, why my character was doing what they were doing, and just trying to figure out and appreciate the lore of the game. What is happening in the universe? Why is this story being told? Because there was a lack of that element of storytelling that, and don't get me wrong, I don't think that you need to necessarily be spoon-fed a story to enjoy it, where everything in the game is explained to you. However, because Astral Chain was so ambiguous with the story it was trying to tell, it didn't catch my attention. Astral Chain was not a game that, as soon as I came home from work, I thought to myself, I cannot wait until I get back into this game. I want to play Astral Chain right now. I didn't feel that way at all. For me, I had to keep pushing myself each chapter and just keep on saying, alright, it's going to get better. This is going to be explained. I'm going to understand it. I'm going to enjoy it more. But I completed the game and that never happened. And that's what killed the game for me. Astral Chain is not my favorite game. For many reasons, I absolutely love it. But because the story was so lackluster, I cannot say that it was a game that I loved. Yes, there may have been many aspects to it that I enjoyed, but again, as I said earlier, being that my bias is needing a compelling and gripping story, this game didn't have it, so that's why this game just wasn't high on my game tier list. I definitely wouldn't say don't try it, because I think we're all entitled to our opinions, and just because I genuinely didn't enjoy something as much as I thought I could doesn't mean that you can't. So I strongly encourage anyone to take advantage, play the game, enjoy it if you can, and if you love it, let me know why you loved it. Let me know what aspects of the story that you loved that I may have missed. It's hard for me to explain the aspects of the story, the specific aspects that I didn't like without spoiling too much. That's why I can't have that discussion in this video, because I want to spare anyone from spoilers. But the lack of story, the lack of having a personal connection with the character that you create is kind of what killed this game for me. I initially had given it a very low rate. I think it was in fives, like a 5 point something on my Twitter, which I know is super debatable and controversial because apparently everyone loved this game. However, I've decided to give Astral Chain a fair 6. It wasn't mediocre, because there are, again, wonderful things about this game, but it's just not hitting those higher numbers for me because of the lack in story. So guys, thank you for watching and for listening. I apologize if the visuals suck. Currently, I'm trying to work something out with my setup, with my recordings. My capture card is not doing me any justice right now, but regardless, please let me know what you thought of the video. If you have played the game, let me know why you enjoy the game, why you would rate it higher, or if you didn't like the game, tell me why you would rate it lower. Also, let me know what you would want to see in a gaming review, because I want to be able to do more of these in the future. I just want to make sure that with each one that I do, I get better. So please feel free to critique my methods of judgment or rating for this game, what you think I should include next time, and overall if you enjoyed the video or not. Please be sure to check out my other videos, like and subscribe if you enjoyed, and I hopefully will see you guys around. Thank you so much. Bye!